These two characters have done some pretty dumb things. That doesn't mean they're not smart or good at their job. It just means, well, they do dumb things.
Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing
The Orville, Episode 11, New Dimensions. With only one episode to go after this, we have a lot going on. They've discovered a time-space anomaly today, but that's really not the big part I want to talk about, no. They do something called world building. They really talk about the fact of why they don't use money anymore. They use the fact that the energy transporter gets used, the ability to create matter from nothing, and that's why they don't need money anymore. Which is the same base concept that Star Trek has, the post-scarcity economy. Basically what that means is, instead of working to make money so that you can get cool things, since you can get cool things no matter what, you work just to prove, hey, I'm that awesome. Just an interesting thing I'll come back to at some later date. For those of you that might be here for the first time, what I do is I like to take apart stories, figure out the hows and the whys behind them. If that sounds interesting to you, click that subscribe button, because we're going to be talking about the Orville for a while. Now, I just want to say a big thank you, because I was under the misconception that the cut of episodes was down to 11, but I've been corrected. It's 12 episodes, and I will also say that I wouldn't mind if they cut the next season up into a couple of groups of 6, so that we get them sooner rather than later. But either way, we're looking at a season of 22 episodes next year. 21 of which will be new, and one will be the season finale from this year, that I hope wasn't a cliffhanger, or that the one before it wasn't a cliffhanger. But okay. Tonight's episode of The Orville is all about what skills you have and which ones you don't. But let's throw this up there and get started.
So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time.
It takes more to be a leader than just be smart. Of course, being smart doesn't hurt. The problem is that people who are creative, people who are charismatic, people who are intelligent are intelligent. Yes, you could be all of those things, but most people aren't. And in this particular case, what we have is someone who's book smart, but doesn't apply themselves and is kind of just lazy, to put it any other way. And there's nothing the matter with that. Everyone lives up to their own potential in their own way. And having him be on the flight crew isn't a problem. Everyone has a gift. Everyone has something that they bring to the table. And of course, the ability to seize command is also a bit more inspiration than perspiration. There's a certain amount of Ed is good at being the captain because he is inspired to be a leader. And that's part of what they were trying to get with the secondary part of this. Remember back when we found out that the only reason the Admiral chose him is because his ex-wife felt sorry for him? I knew that was going to come back to bite them sooner or later. And of course, it did tonight. An episode all about how you get where you're going and what skills you have. Now, of course, we have little bits here and there with each member of the crew. We had some great jokes with Bortus. But I also want to talk about Yaphet and his call of racism, and exactly just how bad that could be on a ship. I mean, think about Star Trek. Think about how many humans we see. Of course, the reason is special effects budget, but at the end of the day, how much alien life do you want in control of a ship? How much of it are you willing to accept? But on the other hand, the fact that we have 2 people who are heads of departments, and one who is the second in command of the ship already, shows that Yaphet's thought process was at least a little off. And one of those other department heads, the head of science, Isaac, once again steals the show. I love the fact that he's still having a little bit of a relationship with the Doc's kids. That was really funny. And of course, we still have the fact that the Doctor and Yaphet have their whole, how do you talk about that sort of thing. But most of the episode is spent with our new resident genius, who, to be fair, did solve the problem of the episode. Now I want to just take a slight moment out to discuss what was going on with all the cosmic stuff. 2-dimensional space against 3-dimensional space. I want you to imagine cutting an apple for a moment. Just cut it 1,000,000 times, so just thin sheets of apple. Now look at it on a flat plane. You can barely see it. Imagine trying to describe that to someone, or figuring out that it's even an apple when you put them all together. You probably couldn't. Seeing something that exists in different dimensions is like that. Although I did kind of also like the idea of what a fourth or fifth dimensional creature might look like. And a special shout out to the actor that plays Isaac, because once again, just his body language sold an entire scene when him and Lamar were in the shuttle, and Lamar said, "Now maybe people will believe that I'm not a commander." You could tell Isaac wanted to say, "You are a commander." So between the captain, Lamar, and Yaset, we have a bunch of characters that are learning how to be command officers, how to rise above, and who is and isn't intelligent enough and who is and isn't charismatic enough. And at the end of the day, as much as they fool around, as much as they're crazy people like I would deal with at work, I would trust this crew. They're darn good at coming up with unique and interesting solutions, and maybe they don't always do things the right way, but they're pretty good at getting everything done. And at the end of the day, we had some great pop culture references for it. It's not the feather, Dumbo. It's you. Was great. Of course, earlier in the episode, we had the Doctor Who and the Snoopy and Oscar the Grouch all having Tesseracts. And there's part of me that wonders, did this three-dimensional incursion into a two-dimensional space actually affect two-dimensional space? Probably never know. As much as people keep saying there are throwbacks for things to happen in second season, I doubt this is. Unless it's a way to make a quicker wormhole escape at some point later. All in all, though, this was another solid gold episode. Everything about it is well written and well thought, and thumbs up to you, Seth MacFarlane, for pitching this idea. I am curious, though. What is it about this show that you love the most? Let me know down in the comment section below, because I'm going to want to do follow-up videos even when this is off the air until the second season starts. And of course, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it, along with, of course, sharing this video with your friends and family. And if this is your first time here, click that subscribe button and join our little community. I want to talk about everything. I want to talk about their world building. I want to talk about their philosophy. I want to talk about their technology. Every single bit just a little more interesting as we explore the heart of the Orville and the heart of the stories we tell. For now, I hope you have a good night, and I will see you next week for the season finale.